Welcome to Next Gen Environmental Firm, the podcast where we talk to people quietly building the future. No jargons, no pressure, just real conversations about the ideas, challenges, and breakthroughs shaping a cleaner, smarter, more resilient world. Today, I'm talking to Dr. Kartika Gopi from Karbalem. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Jolanda.
Pleasure having you, and I'm keen to hear about your story. So, let's start with very simple questions. So, imagine you are in the dinner party. You know no one, and the dinner party is not that people know about environmental and innovations, and someone approaches you and asks, "Who are you? What is your story? How do you introduce to people?"
Yeah, it's often really happens during our networking sessions because we are bumped into different unknown persons, especially with the investor meets or maybe with the kind of expo centers where we physically showcase our products. So yeah, so whenever we bump into, we might have some common interest, probably, and we'll just introduce ourselves. So about myself, I'm Dr. Kartika Gopi. I did my PhD from UA University, and it was on nature-based carbon sequestration potentials, especially in the coastlines of UAE. And also worked as a carbon scientist for a UK-based company for a while. So basically, when I speak about Kabbalim to everyone, it's a kind of a long time cherished aim that I have always kept with me, because I always believe that I should come up with something which I have learned and to provide it as a real world solution at some point. So for that, I geared up my knowledge and my experience where I was working on and caught up with two common friends. So Rahul and Gopakumar, my co-founders, and we started Carbalim. So here, what we are doing is that we are into nature-based carbon capture and air purification systems, where we capture the carbon using the microalgae and convert it into biomass where fresh oxygen rich air is going back from the system. So basically, we are biomimicking the nature with an engineered solution with an intelligence which is attached to it through an IoT sensors so that we can get the real time data for air quality improvement. So basically, what we are building in a simple term is a advanced method of air purification system and also a decarbonization project where both industries and urban areas can actually explore. Why we are thinking in this way? Why can't we go with the natural systems like trees or plants? We have plenty of spaces. Green is always nice, right? But see, when I have worked, I have seen this reality and the problem issues that comes in real space. Because when we know that in cities, land is really scarce. Like even a small piece of land costs very high. So planting a tree and greening a city is literally a not possible solution. And even we know that the capacity of cities are like expanding. We know that there are multi stores, sky high buildings, skyscrapers, everything is going on. So basically, we cannot change everything and make it back into green. Or you are taking a kind of a space for the tree there, right? So
Right.
why can't you replace a tree? A tree with a biomimicking potentiality. So that's a simple, what I say, simple way of bringing the nature back to you. So literally, when you bring these systems, these are kind of, as I said, engineered solution, but inbuilt with a natural microalgae in it. So it helps to fix your carbon dioxide and improve your air quality, removes the volatile organic carbons, the NOxes, that is nitrous oxide, and the sulfur oxides, also particulate matter. So everything that a normal air purifiers can do. So you all know that back then we didn't thought of much on the air quality. I may say maybe 20 years before or something. But after the corona have hit, like very people are very cautious. Everyone is keeping a room air purifiers, right? And it is not in one country; it's all over the world. Like now, right now, you when you think about the climate change, everyone admitted it's not something it's not something in the future. It's what we are living in through. So, for example, in US, there's a big push of investments in climate solutions at scale, like it's becoming the part of the economy, and it's not just an environmental issue now. And even in UK, so we have actually started our startup from UK, where we three innovators were doing our idea stage, and we're building on the patents, everything in UK. So we have found that there is a huge potential even in the UK as well, where like there are making sure that companies actually measure and prove their climate impact, and they align with the SDG goals. And this is not in now in developed countries only. It's now expanding to other countries, like even in India, where I come from, where my origin is. It's also growing very fast, and it's also bringing challenge to build cities, especially with the pollutions and the population that we have. We that Even the leaders are thinking, politicians are thinking on how we can bring a sustainable uh, development in each cities in India. And also even in Middle East, when you come to GCC countries, I know, sorry about the conflicts going on here right now, but where I have UAE, that is United Arab Emirates, is one of my I may say it's my second motherland, because I was raised there. My father have been doing his job over there, and we were living now over 30 years in UAE. So there also there is a kind of strong shift happening from an oil-based economy to a future climate technology. So that is we can see that globally there is a pull, and everyone is like looking into which happens on a ground, especially in cities. So we thought that is the right for time for us to start as Carbalim, where our business idea just bring in a simple solution with for a kind of what do you say an overall goal which we all are moving on for climate resilience. Because when we say when we fight on climate change, there is two methods. Either we have to be mitigating the climate challenges, or we have to become resilient. So, especially in cities and in industries, we have to become resilient, because we cannot stop everything at a pause. We cannot do that, because we have moved many further, and we cannot go back into that era where we were living and relying on forest. So, we cannot bring that kind of back to what we say that kind of an era. But what we have to do is build your economy along tying up with the sustainability. So that is the cities have to look into. And there are a lot of initiatives, surprisingly, because when I started on Carbalim as a woman entrepreneur, I was like totally with a lot of challenges, because I'm not a business person. I'm not a kind of a market finder or something. I was purely a science student when I started. So that change for me from that lab-based student into an entrepreneur was through these kind of conversations which happened uh, over a time period with lot of expertise in the industries, because we used to like participate in different kind of events and in global platforms. For example, we were part of the Japan Expo, and had the opportunity to interact with the Kyoto Research Center back in Japan, and like we had talked with director of Kyoto Research Park as well. And also we have have gone in networking sessions with many of the important leaders from Middle East as well. And also over calls, like we know that now the distance is not an important thing. As you and me speak now, anytime we can go with the online connectivity. So that helped me a lot to learn many things from expertise in this sector. Because and what I understand when we think on their shoes, see climate resilience or climate mitigation need to be done, but it should not be a kind of a burden for the industries or the economy of a country. It should go along with the development as well as the sustainability. We have seen that right now when you compare with the current kind of decarbonization projects so which are happening right now. There are a lot of what say solutions that are put forward. For example, reforestation programs, direct air capture system, carbon capture and utilization in by chemical methods, physical methods, where you convert it into a dark block of rock, where you convert it into amine-based carbon capture system within a chemical solution, and then you extract the CO2 out, and you can reuse this chemical again and again. For example, Carbon Clean is doing that. And we have seen Climeworks along with the Microsoft. They are doing wonderful things like capturing the air for the carbon dioxide. So all these comes in mind. But whenever we see in different spaces, we hear the same problem. Like um, what you say is that whenever we come to that space, life cycle of these kind of projects of decarbonization, we know that solar plants that we see is a kind of a renewable energy that we can depend on. Now there is a lot of progress have been done in this space, and the life cycle of that particular solar panels have been extended to even 25 years. So see, that is
Right.
the betterment, and that is the science driven improvements that we have seen over these years. So I may say we haven't reached it there yet, but we are on the right track. And we are understanding the problems, and we are humans, and we are better than AI, I may say. We have that, and we can utilize AI to understand all these, analyze the data, and bring up with the important solution that we can go ahead with. So these kind of current solutions, what we have seen, the problems of life cycle as well as the pricings, so unbalanced in the market right now, because there is no kind of a standard regulations or an international kind of regulations that happens, because in each country it's different. Even the carbon taxations that happens
Right.
in some countries there are, but in some countries there is no carbon taxation. For example, India have committed on carbon taxation, but it's not yet implemented. They will implement it 2030 like that. So and also like green cement, green what do we say, steel, these kind of say initiations are going on. There are early adopters, but there are no kind of we can see the mid-sized industries are not yet ready to take up, and we cannot blame them because see, the pricings are really sky high. And why the early adopters are taking the advantage? Because they have enough money to buy out these kind of offsetting programs or these kind of things that come up, and they particularly allot each year a budget for these kind of sustainability, or we call it as CSR projects, or kind of corporate environmental responsibility fund, CER fund, etc. So But in the case of mid-sized industry, see, they are already running very, I may say, meeting the profit and the revenue. So for them, if we go with okay, you are emitting this much carbon, you have to reduce this. So we cannot say like that, because if we say that, and once if they start implementing, it will go down. The business will go down, and it will be the end of the business. So industry, and there should be kind of a cost structure or the solutions that can bring up all these mid-sized and small scale industries on board, where they also are committed into the what we say better environment. Also, they are also making profit, so without harming their profit, they are also committed to the environment. So that is the vision that we are looking from Carballing when we built it. And just a bit more about what we are doing. We use just microalgae, and they are natural organisms. So we are keeping it in our Carballing biomimetic facade systems, which is patent applied as well. So here the air goes inside through a channel, and it circulates over the biofacade. And then what happens is that the carbon dioxide get absorbed or sequestered with the microalgae, and the microalgae in return will give back the oxygen. So this is simple photosynthesis is happening in the. And because these are microalgae and microscopic organism, they have they are multiply very fast than the trees. But when in case of trees, they take a gradual time. For example, if we seed a tree, it takes like over 5 years or 10 years to get maturity and absorb that kind of carbon. So what we do is that when this CO2 is fixed into the microalgae, then we filtrate this microalgae out of the system, and then we convert it into biochar. So basically, biochar, it's a kind of a soil conditioner where it can lock carbon into the soil more than 100 years. So these kind of circular economies, that is what we needed. This is one part what we are doing, but there are many other kind of startups or environmental firms who are coming up with this kind of solution and turning pollutions into solutions. So these kind of innovations need to be recognized and need to be explored, as well as fine tuned. That is the main thing, because uh, each time when we come up with an innovation, always there is gaps, and always you need to refine and tune it in a nicer way. That then it will become more and more repeatable as well as scalable. Because
Right.
see, once you build something, and it is particularly, for example, we are now tying up with one of the cement industry, and we are converting their effluent gas sources into biochar. And here we are speaking about tons of carbons, and monthly we are removing uh, at least a ton of carbon. And then, like, in a year, we are almost removing only 12 tons, but actually the emission factor of that industry is 50,000 tons. So you can see the difference, how different it is. So in order to make that industry completely as a net zero emission, the rework has to be done. So that's why we have again gone on refining our process and see what we can do. Because we know that environmental system, when we start with a nature-based solution, there are a lot of limitation of the capacity where it can mitigate the carbon. But when you combine environmental solution with a technical solution, then it may change the game. So, for example, we were thinking of combining the amine based capture carbon captures and integrating this with the microalgae. So in the cement industry, we know that there will be a lot of particulate matter, content will be there, and there will be kind of like nitrous oxides, and as also there are CO2 emissions. So
Right.
we will start with a treatment there, where we actually remove the particulate matter with a shower of water. That's technically called hydrogenation, and remove the particle. Then after that, this gas goes into a special system where the amine based uh, like capturing is there. So here what happens, all the CO2 get fixed into the solution which we have contained in that particular cascade. And then from there, the pure extracted CO2 from the system will go back into the algae tank, which we call as carbon biomimetic facade. So there, again, the CO2, which is completely extracted from the flue gas, will go fixed into the microalgae biomass. And end of the day, you are getting the biomass, which is further then converted into soil conditioner, that is biochar. So, see, if we have focused only on the microalgae here, as I said, 12 tons of carbon per year is the one capacity that we could have gone. But if we integrate these kind of technology along with this, then their capacity is higher. For example, one day we can fix 1 ton. So that is the change of the size. We can see how we can go through the net zero mission. So what I understood is that there is no one stop solution for climate problems. We have to work as an umbrella of uh, what do we say solutions, and
Right.
it varies for different segments, different industries, and that is how we can fight against the climate change. And as a woman or founder in climate tech, I don't know. I feel very happy right now because I am trying to build something and want to address something and to bring up these solutions into a real world solution and help the industries and the urban spaces to mitigate it. Yeah. So I think also one more thing is that credibility, especially for the climate solution. That is also an important thing that we have to see. So whenever we start, always in a larger scale project, we have to start with a pilot phase. And then once you have refined, come up with a pilot, you can figure out what all are the errors on these trials. You can know that what all things you have to fine tune for further large upscales. So basically, whenever I also suggest my friends and colleagues who work in the same space that do not go with a large scale project upfront. You have to do your homework with your pilot phase. And once the pilot phase is successful and we can also satisfy the clients, then that is the right place where you can scale up. You can troubleshoot everything over there, and you can find the spaces of improvements and then go for the higher levels. And right now, like for Carbalin, we have started with a one of the I don't know, I am not I'm able to say the name here, but I'm, let's say, one of the largest oil corporation in India. We have done a pilot with them with their research center. So what we have seen is that our system was working up and real nicely. And we had also troubleshooting issues in that where we are able to fix it along with the suggestions that given by the research center. And also, we have deployed one of the outdoor unit, that is deployment in Delhi road, which is notorious for the air pollution problem actually in India. We have installed a pure air tower there. So this holds a capacity of 15 mature trees. They have actually a national highway project in Aero City, that is the place near to the Delhi airport. So where we have deployed our pure air tower, that space, because for the road construction they have actually cut down many trees over that particular site, and also have made a roundabout near in that particular segment. And like each, like every countries do, each countries they have their own norms, right? For India there was a kind of allocation, especially for the constructors or the EPC contractors who are involved in the road construction. They have to allocate a certain percentage of their budget into greening of the highway. So usually these guys used to put the trees on the side of the road, but for them, they haven't actually got the spaces. See, so that was a real issue that had, and they approached us, and we gave this idea of putting the PRI at our, so giving an equivalent 15 trees of impact back. So these, see, that's like, it is better to do something than nothing, right? So yeah, so this is one of the like good example that we can actually bring back impacts from green impacts from our side. So climate tech, and also when I say about the business point of view, it is not kind of a like a quick return that you can get. It takes time. It needs patience, and it takes a belief of building things. So there is no way of making money faster in the space, but overall you are up there proving yourself, and then bringing the credibility in, and then further building more. So that is how we also have yeah, that's how we have also got connected with one of the famous university in Canada. We are now engaging with them for a sustainability campus program. So they have this net zero like campus kind of, there is a kind of campaign going on in that particular campus for net zero campus facilities. So see, like our park benches or what we say, the digital display boards that we can see over the roadsides. So why can't we convert them into a microalgae based digital boards? So it helps to like just keeping a instead of keeping just an infrastructure which is a metal frame or something, you are able to grow some kind of two trees or I may say 60 or 100 indoor plants in that. That means you are being giving back to the environment. So that kind of small moments that we can take, it's really lovely, and it's really helping the nature back, because we are giving the oxygen back to the nature. And also the improvement of air quality. Peoples, we know that right now, a lot of them are suffering from bronchitis, whatever the lung disorders we can see in cities, especially. A lot of people are taking on a kind of a daily medicines for allergy, antihistamines, etc. So these are because you see, we don't have a we have pushed to do that on a daily basis, because we can do nothing about improving the air quality. Uh, Instead of regular mechanical filters which only filter out the air, maybe there is a HEPA, the high efficiency particulate filter, where it removes the particulate matter, and maybe some of the VOC limiters like anion exchangers, etc. But is that remediating your carbon, or is that fixing your carbon, or is that producing oxygen back? So this is like you are keeping a tree in your house, but literally it is not a tree, but it's giving an impact of tree for you. So that kind of small changes will help in improving the air quality as well. So uh, for us, when we started, we were really struggling to find the right segment for our business. For example, we have started to think on the B2C market, and also from B2B and also B2G as well. So, yeah, what we have seen is that everyone has the need, but none of them are aware about um, is that a real need or not, or whether there is a solution or not, or are they ready to pay for it? These kind of systems. So we know that in the US there is a share program where co-working spaces need to completely improve their AQI levels. We know that sick building syndromes is one of the real problem, especially in the office cubicles, because people feel dizzy after noon. Why? Because
Right.
when you are breathing in this, yeah, you are breathing in the same room and you are building your CO2 inside that. And because it's a kind of an HVAC building, there is only a flushing out of air happens through your centralized system. There is no windows. It's all closed. And I am one of the main victim for that, because my lab was completely closed because I was in an arid country, hot
Oh
summers
no.
anyway. So it's happened like our own. It's fully glassed, glass panels we have, and I remember like we keep a particular temperature in lab, especially there are different varieties of chemicals, especially this lab will be plant ecology lab, the next lab will be a gene lab, a gene manipulation lab, or the other lab will be an animal histology lab. So other will be a soil testing lab. So everything in science, that's a science block we say. So in that, each room is having a different way, and each chemicals which hold in that is different, and they all have different uh what you say shelf temperature that have to be maintained. And the problem is when the summer starts, suddenly the temperature will be kept at 15 degree. so so it will be chilling cold inside and it will be super hot outside, and you have no proficiency to open the window as well. So
Okay.
this this circulation happens within the building itself, and you are in a closed room. And like when you work over and afternoon, you will feel very dizzy, and you are not not give your thought process to work over your ideas, especially when you need a creative task, or you're working on a creative task. So that's the problems. Like even WHO data, we can see that it says that every sick leaves taken, like they say that at least 7 sick leaves in a year by an employee will be due to air quality issues, knowingly or unknowingly. Yeah. So these kind of data lead us to different kind of what we say in steps that we have to take forward for our better life also, but we have to take care of the environment as well. So
Yeah.
that's a is yeah. So that's a what I say we say clear value, and
Fantastic.
also
Well, Kartika, you just gave us a amazing how to say lesson. It's not lesson, it is the experience from the idea to the deployment. And to be honest, you answered almost all my questions, you know, what I had, because you already covered issues that you experienced. You were the inventor, but then you had to go through the understanding business, marketing, as you said, you know, it's like all of it, and bringing your idea to actually reasonable, or I want to say reasonable, it is more like to actually the tool that makes revenue as well, and making environment greener. So it's really amazing, and I appreciate you sharing. You know, I can see your enthusiasm, you know, that you are all in it, you know, and it's like you really want it to work because you can see the value. It's not just revenues or financial value for your company, but for the environment too. Now, I would like to ask, so imagine it's 2031. You open a newspaper and see the headline about something Carbolem achieved. What does the headline say?
so I can easily say that because we already have planned our roadmap for that. And by 2030, what we are aiming for is that 1 million tons of carbon removal. So that is our goal moving forward, because right now we have almost uh, a kind of 3 million projects in pipeline. And right now we have booked a revenue of 197,000 US dollars. So it's almost 200. Yeah, you can say 200,000 US dollars of booked revenue for this first 3 months. Sorry, first 3 months, January to February. Actually, we are really early. Even though I say no, there is a lot of fine tuning needed. We did 3 years of research, optimization, applying patent, TRL testing, MVP, piloting, real deployment, everything being done. And what we have planned was we will go to the market by April this year. But for us, it was like we were pushed to do it very early by January. And luckily, whatever the implementations that we have done, is gaining more. You can see, I think you can search it on, maybe you may get some kind of glimpses of our Pure Air Tower installation in Delhi. And also, we have talks going on with Saudi as well, some one of the largest oil industry giant. Also, we have done the offshore visit for them. And right now, and I had to take hood training for that. That is a special kind of training where you have to take during the chopper landing. So if anything mishap happens, you have to help yourself out of the chopper in underwater. So it was horrible.
Oh my God, yeah, that's brilliant. May I ask you, so what is the biggest obstacle standing between you and that future win right now?
So for me, I may say customers or inbound interest or clients are not my problem, because I'm getting a lot of requests. We are sending proposals and we are on different discussions. But my problems and
Fantastic.
challenges that my team is really small. I'm really scared to take up the projects. Really, I'm honestly telling you, because uh, as I said, like 3 million of projects in pipeline, and 5.1 million of LOI from a German sustainable builder. It's an open LOI. We can kind of end up that project within 2028, I guess. But the problem is my team is very small. I'm only 25 members right now. And the production space that we have is only 5,000 square feet of a warehouse, really small.
Okay.
So I need to build my team. That is one thing. We have three. We three founders are very strong. I am the science brain. We have the technical brain, and we have the operation brain. So we three are pretty much a good team heading everything. But the problem is the quality with other team members who want to join. Like, we have to onboard many other. So that's a kind of, see, when you start on a project, it's not a single brain which works on, it's not
Right.
2 or 3 brains. We need a kind of a brainstorm from different side. So that makes the project more efficient and more, I say, successful. So that is one thing. I have to increase my team and I want to expand my production. Yeah, that is what I am thinking on.
Okay, no, that makes
That's my,
sense. So
yeah.
if you had the
Yeah.
magic wand and could remove one barrier, which one disappears the first?
So first one, I will wave my wand and say I stop my outsourcing and start my own laser cutting, powder coating, fabrications happening in my in house, because this is really a challenge for me, because I have to meet different vendors, talk to them, negotiate to them with the pricing, and I'm at mercy of their time. I have to
Yeah.
wait have to follow. I have to follow up every day. Where is my product? Please tell me when I can get it. So literally, what I'm doing, like everything is ready from my side, but I'm like eagerly waiting for them to deliver me things. So that will be the first thing I will do if I get
Oh, I
one.
bet I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, because it's like you're ready, but you need materials to put all together in and put. No, that I
Yeah.
understand. Now, everyone has something.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Continue.
No, no. I was telling, like you said, 25 team members are really small, but this is a hardware unit. So, and it's an engineered product. So we need, if it is a software or if it is a kind of soft solutions, uh, that is more than enough for a team to be go with a larger size project. But when we say about the bigger tons of carbon capture, we need really a big team to work with, or a strategic partner, I may say. That will be also one of the solution that I think maybe, yeah.
Yeah, no, understandable. So now everyone has something they are quietly watching: regulations, technology, market shares. And you touched a little bit about this, but what's the one thing you're keeping an eye on because you think it will matter more than people realize?
So, for example, we know that a lot of um, industries right now, they are trying to mitigate their emissions through offset programs, and they are buying the like carbon offsets, retiring their like emissions through those. But they are blindly investing in something which is entirely maybe different part of the world. How credible it is, how you like once you invest and you know that this is not happening and that project is totally failure, everything is gone. So I may say when regulations comes on, there should be kind of clarity, more clarity of what we are doing, so that instead of blindly buying out or offsetting your emissions, instead of that, why you can't find a solution within your I mean your environment or
Yeah.
your nearby. So that should be one of the thing that I think you, yeah.
You okay. So
Mhm.
when you think about scaling, so India, Europe, USA, what kind of support or partnership you are actively looking for?
So by start in India, so even it's totally different when you come to within India itself, because the geographies for the north and south is totally different. As I said, Delhi is one of the polluted cities that is recognized around the world. But we can see the market also lies in South India, where people are also having like these Tata Steel. I may think I know, Tata, right? Tata is one of the biggest steel manufacturer from India, and they are exporting it worldwide. And we have also iron ore producers, coal industries, all these kinds of things which happen in the middle belt of India. So, strategically approaching each industry, and also find what are the regulations that happening over there, because it's different for each kind. So in India, I may say, right now we have this 2030 targets, but it is not the same in Europe. In Europe,
Right.
they have the carbon taxation coming up for all the even though they import things, so the exporters have to come up with the carbon relaxation, because the transport and the what we say main core carbon emissions, especially in that particular manufacturing unit, is also counted. So now there is an e-camp where they have to retire their carbon credits at the port. So these kind of things are different in EU, and they are more stringent as well. And I must say, this is a funny thing I used to say, like they are the most. I mean, in Europe there are a lot of decarbonization companies, and they are taking advantage of these kind of regulations. But This is good actually. We know that like these have to be done anyway because we cannot move ahead blinding our eyes and go ahead. So yeah, that is one of the things. And even in UK is like totally aligning on the SDG goals. You can see each and every companies they are reporting and like also doing some of them are like having the regulations for mitigating the carbon emissions as well. So reporting is, I think, many of them are following right now, even in China, in India, and even in Middle East. There are kind of reporting structures that are now coming up with their own nationally determined councils, NDCs, usually we say. So there are these kind of like in geographies they have particular rules and set of things for that, and it is different in US in your place as well. So understanding each and everything is not possible, but when you start your work over there and if you see a potential client is in that geographic region, it's always very interesting to understand more about the picture. So that's what we are doing. See, we have our deployments coming up in Canada. So that's why we are aligning with a lot of CSA certifications, what all these kind of things that we have to make sure once we go and implement these kind of systems over there. So these all need to take in account as you are a growing company. And this will help you move ahead to get more exposures. Once you crack it, then it is easy for you to follow on with other kind of requests which come from the same market or similar market segment. So it is not possible for a young company to go all over the place, but when you go start, keep it the track and then try to get a repeatability from the business. That is the best way to come out. Oh, you are on mute, Jalanda.
Well, I was on the mute. But Kartika, thank you so much for this insight. It was incredible. You had incredible journey, and I'm glad to see that you, as a company, as a founder, you have a vision for 2031, for 2030, and we need more companies like yourself, more innovations as well. To bring our nature back again. I think and to live in the environmentally friendly world. No, thank you so much, and I hope we can chat later on as well to see how you're getting on, for the future.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, Jalanda, for hearing me. I know a little bit crazy when I talk on this kind of topics, but thank you for allowing and giving me the freedom to speak from my heart. And it's been always been a happy moment for me to always speak about my journey with Carbon.